And away we go. Welcome to the season finale of Hard Knocks. It's over. It's already over, Anson.
I'm a little heartbroken.
I feel like I just lost my virginity. Like it went by way too fast.
It's like after that first time and then you get broken up with and you're just like, I wonder if I'm ever going to get laid again, because it could be another decade before this happens, man.
And like it started out so good. Episode 1 was so good. I was so excited. I was so into it. And then this episode was okay. It did put a bow on a lot of things. It definitely went over everybody, everybody that was on the cusp and stuff like that. But the first episode was still by far my favorite. I don't know if I was just jacked up going into that episode or it just gave us more Dan Campbell and more Deuce Day. Like, there was a lot more fighting, a lot more energy. This episode was more just kind of like, man, this is the reality of the league. When they cut down from 80 to 53, it's not an easy process.
Yeah, this story wasn't a happy one for a lot of guys. And it was, it's inevitable. That's how Hard Knocks goes. We got to follow a lot of guys that we didn't know. We got to know them. And, guys like Rodrigo, it's exciting to know that he's not only going to be here, but he's going to be starting in a big part of our future and the team this season. Then you got other guys that you kind of root for, like Pimpleton and Blau, and they're gone at this point. They gone.
Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Make sure you drop a like and make sure you definitely subscribe to the Woodward Sports Network on YouTube. So we'd like to run through the whole show. I see people putting stuff in the chat already. One thing that I was missing, we didn't get to see any Jameson Williams. And I know you've brought that up every time. And I have asked you, what did you want to see? But, they didn't even put him on camera.
Nothing. I just wanted, a 30-second conversation with him. Let's see what he's all about. Let's see how he's interacting with the team. He definitely was a secret that they kept tight. So I don't know whether that was the Lions keeping him out of the camera's eye or whether it was just what happened. But we got nada of the exciting offensive future of the Lions. Nothing, man.
Yeah, I do think that's weird. I do think it's weird that they didn't even highlight him or his recovery process or where he was. And Jeff Okudah, another guy they didn't really mention too much about, was Jeff Okudah.
Sure, he's a little more forgotten news. The main storyline of this Lions offseason had nothing to do with free agency. It was all about our moves to acquire what are potentially the most impactful offensive and defensive rookie to come out of college this last year. And the fact that they never even mentioned that we have this guy, much less got a chance to get a little bit of camera time, was a little mystifying to me. I have a question, though, for everybody at home while we're doing this show.
All right.
Do you guys not wear cups in football? I'm kind of mystified about that, too.
You seen a lot of camel tails out there?
Well, I really feel like I would want to wear a cup out there. What about you? Did you wear a cup when you played?
100%.
Yeah.
I wear a cup when I play softball still. I wear 90% of my day is spent trying to protect my nuts.
I wear a cup when I go to the strip club, man. I mean, these things are valuable items.
That's a chastity belt. They're a little different. DJ Chark, a lot of people are saying that in the chat too. Matthew's saying that. He's saying Chark didn't get mentioned at all either. We didn't really see much of Chark.
No, they paid to keep him a secret as well. I think that our wide receiver room is probably the most improved room that we have from last season. We definitely have, in St. Brown, we have a guy that's ready to take that big jump in his second year. Reynolds, what I'm hearing, is really, really getting comfortable. And then you add a guy like Chark there. We just didn't talk about it. We were kind of focused in on Pimpleton and a little bit of TK and a little bit of Mr. Universe, but we didn't get much of that. And again, I feel like that's a little bit of a secret that the Lions kind of kept from us. They don't want us to see what the offense is out there. So I'm a little excited.
That's fine. Yeah, keep the secret weapons locked away. Joey Two Times saying Rod Wood gives off Zuckerberg vibes. Rob Wood, I'm glad they actually showed Rob Wood in the episode tonight, because I think a lot of people have this misconception that Rob Wood actually makes football decisions. He doesn't make football. He lets you know whose jersey's selling well. That's what he does. He follows the money. He marks it down. And, it's nice that Malcolm Rodriguez, the number 2 selling jersey for the Detroit Lions.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I was really intrigued by this situation here. Would you have ever thought that this kid would have a better selling jersey right now than Hutchinson? Because they said that Hutchinson was at 3, right behind him.
See, I heard that differently than you did because Maddie said the same thing. She took that as Hutchinson was 3. I heard it as he was behind Hutchinson. So Hutchinson is clearly the number 1 selling jersey because who else would it be on this team?
That was my question.
So
we need some clarification
when
on that.
I heard it Hutchinson, then Rodrigo next.
I thought
Maddie heard it your way though.
Yeah, so we got to figure that one out. But I guess I had 2 questions, and one of them depends on whether that's the truth or not. If they continue to focus on Hutchinson and his family and his sisters,
they didn't.
They just cut him off.
That's nice.
And
I appreciate that.
Would he elevate above Rodrigo if that is the situation? I kind of feel like HBO created this star out of this guy that may end up being the middle linebacker out of one of the worst middle linebacking cores in the NFL. As exciting as he is, where we were able to pick him and what he's doing right now, but I want to know who that number 1 jersey is if this is the situation.
Everybody in the chat's agreeing with me. They heard it like I did.
Okay.
That Hutchinson's number. Because why wouldn't Aiden Hutchinson be number 1?
So somebody at home, give us the top 3.
Use logic here,
Figure
people
it out.
that think that it's not Aiden Hutchinson. It has to be Aiden Hutchinson at number 1.
That's what I thought. I thought we'd get some clarification so we can not talk about this.
But regardless,
so we can agree.
whoever the hell's number 1, whoever the hell's number 3, a 6th round draft pick who hasn't played a snap in the NFL is the number 2 selling jersey for the Detroit Lions.
That's my number, that
is
44.
Is that a good sign or a bad sign, though?
It's a great sign of what you should be getting me for my birthday. It's in April.
All right. Well, no, Rodriguez is a friend of the station, and we got to hand it to the heavyweights.
Yeah,
they were on this bandwagon before anybody. Literally, the second they drafted this guy, the heavyweights were on that bandwagon. They had him on the show before he was even signed to the team. Rodriguez is a friend of the station and the network, and it's all because of the big fellas, the Woodward heavyweights, on every day, 5 to 7.
Well, Rodrigo, just so you know, I was born on 4-4. I got a whole bunch of those jerseys like that beautiful Ricky Mahorn 44. But let's talk about his fit. That was, I like
the cowboy joint?
Yes, absolutely.
I got to respect it.
He looked good, man. I'm almost thinking about fixing to get down there to the southwest side, pick myself up some cowboy boots.
I mean, yeah, you kind of got the look going on right now with that shirt, baby.
Yeah, this is my Honolulu just blue celebration. We're just on the cusp of just a Kool-Aid good time for the next 17 weeks, 18, I guess.
Okay, see, now Ryan Lentz is saying now they definitely said Hutchinson was number 3. So everybody's hearing that different. It's like, is it the blue dress or the silver dress?
You guys got Google at your fingertips. I don't. Let's get some answers here. I want to debate this because I want to know who number 1 is. I would imagine it's got to be Swift. I mean, Goff maybe 4.
Hutchinson. It's got to be Hutchinson.
But if we heard it right, if a few of us did hear it right, and Hutchinson's 3 behind Rodrigo, because when Campbell was like, man, I really love that. It almost sounded like he was loving that the guy that we took 6 was actually somehow ahead of this budding superstar that we have in Hutchinson. But if that's the case,
now in the chat, that's hilarious.
So who's number 1? It would be Swift, though, right? It would have to be if it's not those 2.
I don't know, man. I think Goff would probably be next in line, right? Your starting quarterback.
It seems like it.
I wonder where Jameson Williams is. Period.
I'd like to know what the top 5 selling Lions jerseys are currently right now. That's for sure.
It was Hutch number 1. Y'all must be deaf. See? So okay, all right. That's you guys can debate that in the chat right now. But thank you guys for watching right now.
Where's that Nate Sudfeld jersey fall in there?
That is dead last.
Dead last.
I love how Dan Campbell didn't even know Sudfeld was in the meeting room. Like, oh damn, you caught a red eye.
You are here.
You're already here. Like, all right. And Nate Sudfeld, I don't want to judge anybody off of 10 seconds, but he seemed like that dude that just came in. He was chewing his gum and just like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm here. Yeah, he brought me in.
He's a lion, man.
Yeah, sitting next to Jared Goff.
Well, before we get off the jerseys, who would you buy if you had to go out there and you got to be able to have one jersey right now? Mm-hmm. Who would it be?
Probably Panay Sewell.
Yeah?
I love Penei Sewell, especially after the story that Dan Campbell
that
told
story.
today. He's like, listen, there's a rookie that I took him out of the game, and he came over and motherfucked me as the head coach, a rookie. And he was like, a tear came down my eye. And I love that, like, the culture that they're breeding in Allen Park and at Ford Field is unreal. And I know, like, that the majority of the episode was spent getting rid of people, but everybody they cut was like, hey, man, I know you cut me. This sucks. But I got a lot of respect for you guys, how you handle yourselves, and how you've, like, treated me throughout this entire process. I mean, to a man, they all said that.
There was so much grace in defeat for every one of those young men that went through the cut room. There was a bunch of different quotes that I heard here that just, that stuck with me. One was build a culture where men can be themselves.
Yep.
That was not something the last regime was accused of, ever.
No, if you were yourself, you got the hell on. Darius Slay, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You were friends with anybody else outside the lines, get the hell out of here. Glover Quinn, we don't need you.
Sure. And then man, I'd like to have big play Slayback, but most positive
Nice.
football environment in 17 years of playing the sport. Pimpleton said that. That's certainly another thing that Allen Park has never been accused of up until what we're seeing this year on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, it was Jared Davis who said, thank you for how you carry yourself to Holmes and Campbell, and then Tom Kennedy. You could tell Dan Campbell was tore up about cutting Tom Kennedy.
He was tore up about all those cuts.
Yeah, Kennedy seemed a little more, though. Like because what do you say to the guy that catches every touchdown in preseason, that does everything right? Like, hey, we put you out there. You did everything we asked, but sorry, bro. You got to go.
That was like every time I got cut, man.
You were like Rudy. Well, you put in the effort. You just don't have the athletic ability. You're 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, and barely a speck of athletic ability.
2 more inches thick. That's not all I needed.
Yeah, well, that's what all the guys say. Chase Lucas. I thought he stole the show today.
Certainly.
He was my favorite.
I think he's my favorite in hindsight now. I don't know. Rodrigo's probably got me, but Chase Lucas, to see yet another late draft pick impact some games. Now, the first game, he fell a little short, but after that, he more than made up for it. Love his energy and his talkative nature. He honestly reminds me of that guy or the kid that was maybe a couple years younger than your whole group at maybe a football or basketball camp, and he played up though. He was good enough to play up with you guys, and so he tagged along.
You pat him on the head.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody kind of looked out for him because they knew how excited he was to be there, and that seems like a guy that, in a different situation might have ended up on a practice squad, but with the reps and experience that he's going to get this season and the knowledge that it seems, that I saw on the field as well as what we saw here, the coaches talking about behind the scenes in the episode tonight, this kid's got a real chance to develop. That was another thing that I heard there was at one point, Brad Campbell, when he's talking to Easy, he said, we're big on development. And I never saw that we really developed too many players in these last couple of regimes. We cut players and maybe sign some players, but there was never really any guys that we had for a year or two, and then all of a sudden, hey, this guy's actually really contributing. And what I'm seeing is not only a little bit of that, but also our players that we're cutting finally getting picked up by other teams, because our cast-offs were
they were like all our ex-coaches, never to be seen in the NFL again.
CFL maybe, some Winnipeg something or others.
No, but I just love Chase Lucas. Like he reminds me of Big Sean, right? You know how Big Sean's always talking about manifesting his destiny, and I dreamt this and I spoke this into existence in everything that he says. That's what he's doing. Like, hey man, I feel like I'm one of the greatest. I feel like I could do this. I feel like I could be a starter in this league. And the coach, don't bullshit me. Like, can I play in this league? And if he keeps getting those little bits of affirmation, he's just going to keep getting better and better and better. I mean, you saw him drop that interception in a preseason game. 2 weeks later, it's still bothering the hell out of him, and I love that.
Yeah, Campbell comes back. Oh, you might be able to do this. You might be able to do this. I like that. I think that if we continue to stack players like this in late-round picks, Holmes he might be the genius that we've been looking for many, many decades. Keep assembling pieces like this. Let's push that cream to the top and cut the fat. Send the fat to other teams because they're watching us now, man. I love it.
It is nice. It is nice to actually have some people that we can send off into the league. And, it kind of sucks that Blau went to Minnesota because he's just going to take our whole damn playbook to them. But whatever. It's David Blau. I'm not going to sit here and cry about David Blau. I think we were all thinking we need an upgrade at the backup quarterback position. And Sudfeld, we'll see. But whatever. It's David Blau.
How do you feel about David Blau right now?
I don't care about David Blau. I didn't care about him earlier in the season. I didn't care about him last year. Like, to me, if David Blau was playing for the Lions, our season was over anyways.
He took our whole playbook over there, though.
Well, that's what they do. That's
know.
what smart teams do, too. But whatever. I mean, what do the good coaches say? If I've done my job right, I could tell you the play we're running and still beat you.
True that.
So
True that.
let's hope our coaches have done that. How about the handshake between Aubrey Pleasant and Eminem? What was longer, the handshake or Dan Campbell thinking about the fill-in-the-blank question at the end?
Wow. We need to get the stopwatch out for that one. I think Campbell might have beat him there, but the handshake was great. How long we going to do this, man?
Like to the point where Eminem's like, dude, can we stop this, please? And please, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, seeing Eminem come out was very cool. It's just yet another cherry on the top of this series this season.
You didn't think it was hokey?
Oh, it was super hokey.
Okay, fine.
Listen, I'm not saying anything else about Marshall Mathers except for that's the dude.
Oh, he's the man.
And with him coming out, just him being there, it lends so much relevance to this franchise. I mean, I can't really remember who the other celebrities were that came out in local areas to support their local team in Hard Knocks history, but he's one of the dopest. I know that,
In Houston, Paul Wall came out. I don't know. Trick Daddy came out in Miami.
It's all encompassing what we've seen on this series this season in the 5 episodes, from the change in culture to the excitement and intimacy that we've gained with the coaching staff and some of the players, but more so with this entire franchise, I think is the importance of this. Right when we were ready to fall in love and anoint Aiden Hutchinson, we stopped seeing him. Sure, we have this Rodrigo love affair, but ultimately, again, he's the starting Mike linebacker and what's considered one of the worst linebacking cores in the league. However, what we got as an all-over experience from the Detroit Lions, that's what I'm left with, whether it's these quotes, whether it's the players' feelings, whether it's Eminem actually coming in to, again, lend that relevance to the Honolulu Blue. It's a new day. It truly, truly feels like a new day for the Detroit Lions.
It's a new season. It's a new team. I got kind of concerned at the end when they were doing the fill in the blank. Not all the guys seem to be very ecstatic, what was the exact, the 2022 Detroit Lions will.
Yeah.
And who's the first guy who just goes compete? It's like, okay, I didn't really love that answer. I love the next guy that was like, put the league on notice. I'm like, oh, like that. And then Dan Campbell sitting there.
I heard some crickets.
He's like, I could go several ways with that. But at the end of the day, I did like his response.
There's a few things that were going through my mind there as he took about 4 minutes. One, he understood the weight of the impending words that he was about to speak. He knew it was going to be a sound clip. Sure.
Right.
Even if he was just on, Detroit Fox local or on Woodward Sports in here or whatever, local programming that it is, that'd still be picking up something big time. What he has now is this national stage where he's garnered all of this attention. Everybody's watching episode 5, and he knows that this is going to be ringing across pretty much every sports page up until we play on Sunday.
Right.
I think
we play Sunday, baby.
I know, it's so exciting.
By the way, Lions football this Sunday. By the way.
What are you going to be doing?
By the way, Lions football.
What are you going to be doing
happening
that
this
day?
week?
Yeah.
Like, it's football season, Anson.
It's very
It's officially
exciting.
football. Like, I know this is over, and the Hard Knocks was fun. I'm glad they kept it to 5 episodes. I think if they would have kept going, I mean, would you want to see the in-season Hard Knocks like they're doing with the Cardinals?
With the Lions,
With the Lions
if they're
this year.
competing, but I mean, if we're not, I let's save it. Let's save it for the year that matters.
Right. Follow the Super Bowl Lions.
Sure. I think the entire team there wanted to come out and say, we're going to be this, we're going to be that, and maybe even say a little too much, put themselves in a hole where, okay, well, we're going to win the North. Is that what he came out and said? I think that's why it took him so long. At the same time, he wanted to inspire, and the team that can and will. That really, if you look into the words themselves, it says that they can do every single thing that you ask an NFL team to do, which is win their division, win playoff games, win a Super Bowl. And they will. Now, that's not necessarily all falling into 2022 because they need to take a step before they can become that team. But to get there, they have to do the things that I believe that they will do this year. You don't have to win 10 games for them to be on the right path. The 6-7 game mark is truly what will put this team into a position of true belief. And I believe that was what was lacking to a certain point. There isn't full conviction there, and that's still that carryover of that old Lions culture that's not allowing the full confidence of just being like, we're going to go out and kick everybody's ass this year.
Right. Nah. Oh, man, I'm just so excited for football to happen. I've just been reading the chat while you were talking to Ryan Lentz. 15-2, that's the record according to the BDE chat. This is not the BDE chat, though. Make sure you do watch BDE. That is with Neil Rule, Terry Foster, and, of course, Darren McCarty every day, 11 to 1, right here on the Woodward Sports Network. But I want to propose this question to you, Mr. Anson Wells. Let's play fill in the blank, and everybody in the chat, too. I want you guys to fill in the blank. The 2022 Detroit Lions will blank. What do you got for me? Give me the Dan Campbell pause. There's a lot
I'm
of
starting
pressure.
to feel him a little bit.
Right, and knowing the words that he was about to say. And everybody in the chat, I want you to fill in the blank, too, and we'll read them back.
The Lions will intrigue and inspire all season.
Okay.
They are going to keep your attention, and not for the lovable losers reasons. You're going to see true development in this team. You're going to see young guys develop as well as veterans like Josh Reynolds and Jared Goff and others. At the same time, we're on our way. We're going to find out very quickly who this team is and if this is truly what we got seduced into watching this sexy 5 weeks of Lions Kool-Aid. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of intrigue, and the improvement's going to be there, and I'm excited to see it. I really believe that's what we keep hearing around Detroit, man.
We will win. I believe that we will win. All right, let's read some of the chat right now. David Webster. The 2022 Detroit Lions will be underwhelming. What do you think about that one?
That's easy to agree with, considering what we're coming out of. If there's no Hard Knocks, I think that would be almost impossible this season. But with Hard Knocks, there's people that are going to be thinking 8, 9, 10 wins are doable just because you're so comfortable and close with this team right now. When reality is our roster doesn't stack up with more than half of the league. But that doesn't mean that we can't see those 6-7 games that truly keep you tuned in every single week, every single Sunday, talking about this team and not just hoping that we get a lucky bounce 66 yards.
Oh, God, Justin Tucker. No more Justin Tucker moments. Let's see. The 2022 Detroit Lions will restore the war. The roar. My bad, not the war. But the roar. I like that. Out of Bass's da Place.
Yeah,
Base is the place.
we're gonna bring it every week. We're not gonna be an easy out. We're gonna be an absolute tough out for every single
I
team.
like this
we
by
face.
Doughboy Steve. The 2022 Detroit Lions will make life miserable for other teams.
Yeah,
Lion-
win or lose, man. We're gonna kick your ass all 60 minutes, man.
Yeah, Lions Rumble put the league on notice. Juice's Ghost will make some teams uneasy. 82 Rio will win the division.
Hey, I like that. I don't believe it. But
Followed
I
up
love
by
it.
Steve Wiles kicking us right in the dick. Will compete for a top 5 pick. So Steve does not have much faith in this squad this year. Matthew says shock the world. Kyle says be a top 10 in both D and O.
Well, I
Okay.
don't see that. I see our offense being really, really surprising. Jared Goff is a massive, wild card. I think that Swift emerges as a top guy in our offensive wide receiving room. Whether it's the tight ends or the receivers, I really, really like what we have to work with this season. They're going to be a surprise, all behind a great offensive line.
Sorry, people are making fun of me for saying restore the war. Listen, I had a lisp growing up. I overcame it to speak publicly, and I still struggle with it.
All right.
Let's see. Bite kneecaps literally. Jay Washington said that. Perg said make themselves known. Fight Forever says the 2022 Lions will win 1-score games. That could be massive.
That would be, even if we get half of those, what would we be looking at? A good, that's 6-7 wins right there.
Knock out Rodgers. Yes.
What do you got?
What do I got?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I got the 2022 Detroit Lions will surprise us all. And I'm not saying which way they're going to surprise us. I'm just saying they're going to surprise us all.
That's such a cop-out.
It's a safe play. It's a safe play. Honestly, last year I thought they were going to win 8 games. They came well short of 8 games.
Well
They
short.
were potentially in 8 games to win. They could have won 8 games, but they didn't even come close. This year, my expectations are a little more tempered, and I'm hoping that because of that, they'll exceed what I think.
Well, I got one number for you, and I'm going to use it for 2 questions. And actually, it's going to be the same question. It's going to be an over-under. 6.5. Are we picking at 6.5?
Oh, we're over 6.5.
Or later? Earlier or later?
Oh, in the draft? I thought you were
And
talking about
are we
win
winning
totals.
6.5? I'm giving you both.
Vegas is 6.5.
I
with the
know it,
Lions. I'm
but-
over. I'm over. We got 6 has to be the floor. It has to be the floor. Has to be. We have to at minimum double our win total from last year. If we don't do that, weird conversations are going to start being had that I don't want to have.
Agreed. And 6, I think that you can be positive with the season still. 7 is really where they capitalize on that intrigue and the belief, I think, carries into next year. At 6 wins, it's still just hope going into 2023. So, I got to put you on the record right now.
Yeah.
How many wins?
I got them at 8 and 9.
8 and 9.
That's what I had them at last year. I got them at that this year. Yeah, you're right. Easy does it. I do agree about Chase Lucas.
I don't know. I definitely wouldn't put money on it. The 6.5 is such a tough one.
Win celebrations at Brass Rail, because all of our post games are going to be at Brass Rail downtown again, and all of our pre games are going to be there. So it's going to go pre-game show, brunch while we're watching, and then post game at Brass Rail this week.
All right, my intuition tells me 6. My heart tells me 7.
7. Okay, that's fair. That's right around where they're supposed to be. What's wrong with that? That's literally right around where they're supposed to be.
No, I'm going with 6. That's
6?
it. I'm staying with 6. I'm sorry, Detroit Lion Nation. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right, well, let's talk back about Hard Knocks, Anson. Out of the 5 episodes, what was your favorite takeaway moment, or what's the biggest thing you took away? And everybody in the chat too, please comment. And yes, please come pregame with us at Brass Rail and postgame.
It has to be the culture. Oh, I kind of started on it earlier. It's all encompassing, from Eminem to the coaches to the graceful exits by the guys getting cut to the belief and shared enthusiasm by the team and everybody that we saw across the screen. It was so cool that it happened this year. We've always wanted it. We've talked about it, you and I. Will the Lions ever get it? will the Lions ever even be interesting enough that if they did get it, would anybody want to tune in? And
Yes.
They certainly were.
And did you see about the preseason game between the Steelers and the Lions? That was more watched than any Christmas Day NBA game.
I saw that. I saw that exact stat.
Bro.
I'm an NBA lover, so it kind of hurts. It's kind of ridiculous, but
Football's king.
Football is king. And HBO really hit the nail on the head. They found the right team to cover in their exact year that you'd want to cover them. I mean, they might even be back in Detroit next season. I wouldn't be surprised, because if they do shock and win 7-8 plus games, everybody's going to be talking about us.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway, I mean, obviously the culture that they're building there, but just how they treat people. Like,
Yes.
I think that's the biggest thing I took away, to where you're literally bringing in guys, you're firing them, and they're thanking you.
Yeah.
You know, they're not sitting there salty as hell. Yeah, they get their feelings a little bit, and you could see some death stares and stuff like that. But the majority of the time, it was, hey, man, you guys got to do what you got to do. I respect you as men, so I understand this decision. And it was just, like, refreshing to see that our leadership is so well respected.
I think we get paid for doing this. The Lions organization gets paid for doing it. What an amazing marketing campaign for them, because the word on the street was Detroit wasn't a great place to play.
Right.
And we started to change that last year, and I'm sure guys are talking about it, and, guys played football with other guys, and, hey, you should come and check out what we got going on in Detroit, but you got to see it to believe it, and 9 times out of 10, you got to actually sign up and go to that team to really understand it. I think what people saw now, we might have some actual interests from some real free agents next season because of this, because I want to go play for Dan Campbell. I want to go play for AG. I want to go play for Deuce
And we got
Staley.
the cap space next year, too.
Yeah, we certainly do.
We got a lot of cap space
There's
coming.
a lot of cap space and a lot of Detroit teams coming up, man. I'm loving it.
That's one thing that is really missed, and obviously they're not going to go over cap space in Hard Knocks. They want to talk about the players. But not only has Dan Campbell set us up with players that they've drafted, and Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, I got to give them all credit, but they also fixed the salary cap disaster that we were under. Like, we're going to have a ton of cap space next year, and we're still paying a $30 million quarterback.
Yeah, and lots of interest for people to finally come here. I want to play for Dan Campbell. Honestly, I want to go to boot camp under Deuce Staley.
Yes.
Whip me into shape, bro.
I love Deuce Staley, man. Yeah, I would take hard lessons from Deuce Staley, right?
Certainly.
He
certainly.
can teach you a thing or two.
That would every single human being needs an uncle like that.
Yeah. So that's it for Hard Knocks, man. Was it everything you thought it would be?
It certainly was. It was everything I thought it was going to be, and a little bit more. Again, you just couldn't have hoped and prayed for a better, more timely glimpse into the Honolulu Blue. I mean, so many more years. Imagine if we would have done this 2 years ago with Patricia there. I mean, you might turn your back on your own squad.
I mean, he was definitely a villain, right? You could have told the villain story, like, everybody hates the coach here in Detroit, and when he first got signed on, they found some sexual deviancy in his past. Yeah. They brushed that under the rug, and here we are with his best friend, Mr. Quinn.
They wouldn't have been playing Detroit Cowboy and Eminem. They would have been playing like the Grinch and some crap music, man. I mean, it was just...
What would the narrator say? And here comes his weeble wobble ass onto the field because he's so fat he can't walk. He rides around on a four-wheeler.
And your head coach wobbles off of his four-wheeler to yell at the offensive line.
He's bringing people in to cut, but we can't hear the microphone over his breathing.
We're just so lucky that it happened when it happened. I want another one next year. I'm a little sad. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Sunday in the season starting.
Yeah,
but
Brass Rail, let's go.
This is bittersweet. That's right. Where are we at on Sunday, my friend?
Brass Rail. It starts. It begins. It all happens. It's going to be so fun. Our post games there. Even if you don't have tickets to the game, just come down, hang out at the Brass Rail, watch the games with us, and hang out for the post games.
Yeah.
Because last year, even when the Vikings came in,
the Vikings fans were great.
The Vikings
I'll give them
fans
some love.
were amazing. Like,
Yeah.
we met so many cool away fans that would come in and like celebrate Detroit with us. Like, man, I was told a lot of things about this city, but I'm having a great time. And we're getting them hammered on the air. We caught that dude cheating on his girl. Remember that?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. If you guys want some entertainment, go back and watch some of the post games from last year. Holy hell, it turns into a circus at the Brass Rail.
Yeah, tune in and then come and join us. Yeah, the love from everybody out of town for Detroit has really been high. And I mean, it's a great city. It's just growing every year. And with what is about to happen in Detroit sports over the next 5-10 years, it's truly exciting. People are about to get a real glimpse of what this city is all about. Come and see it for yourself, though. I can't wait for Sundays. Sundays are awesome at the Hot Corner.
Yeah, well, and it's going to be a home game. We start out the season with 2 home games, so that's going to be amazing. And we're ready to rock, man. Lion season is here. Hard Knocks is over. I'm sure at some point I'm going to go back and watch all 5 episodes again, even though we watched them pretty damn intently. Like, these are my note sheets for every single episode. A couple pages of notes.
Yeah, it's different. You know, and it definitely made it more enjoyable because
we had to analyze it.
Well, you know, when you watch something that you know your friends are interested in and they might have been on their phone or whatever, and that's kind of the same with our audience. They may not have seen it. There's just so many little things that when you're really focused on reporting it that you pick up on, and you know, the handshakes and things like that. And,
right.
And that was what kind of everybody that watched this just saw so many little things about our Lions that. Come on. People have been questioning their own loyalty to this franchise for some years now, for some decades now. I mean, my grandfather, God rest his soul, before he passed, I was like, why aren't you a Lions fan anymore? You'll understand one day. You know, we've all heard that.
Man.
And this thing, this Hard Knocks, it was a gift that HBO gave Detroit. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you, HBO.
You know, really, this is... It reignited my faith and love for the Honolulu Blue.
Awesome. Well, Anson, pleasure doing the late night show with you. There was nobody else that would stay up late and do this show with me. And
likewise,
you know
man,
what? See, we couldn't even get a producer. That's why I've been in the booth the past couple days. But
you're killing it, bro.
We make it work.
We do.
Who cares? Like, if we got to be up till midnight talking Lions with everybody that's up, like, that's been the coolest part too. Episode 1, there were so many people watching, so many people interacting throughout this whole thing. Like 300 people, 400 people watching this late at night, just wanting to talk Lions.
Yeah.
The community's growing, baby.
Well, everybody's chomping at the bit. But
let's go. See you Sunday.
That's only 5 days, you know?
We will see you later. Thank you, guys. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. We love you. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Have a great night. Get some sleep. What are we, 4 more sleeps to Lions football?
I can't wait, man. It's the only good news about this. It's over, but I don't have to wait a week to do this again with you.
Yep. The real show starts Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.